World War II was more than just Nazis and the battles of Europe. In the Pacific, there was heavy fighting going on. It had fierce air battles, heavy naval engagements, and brutal land warfare. This was the Pacific Theater. During the 1930s, Japan wanted to be a huge and expansive empire. Under General Iwane Matsui, the Japanese army marched into Nanking, the capital of China. Most of the Chinese army had left, so the Japanese had no resistance. The Japanese army started brutally murdering and raping hundreds of thousands of innocent citizens. The higher command of the Japanese army remained unaffected, denying that this ever happened, even to this day. The general and others were prosecuted of war crimes. In 1940, the Japanese army invaded French Indochina. This angered the US, and President Roosevelt ordered the embargo on Japanese goods. 3/4 of the Japanese economy relied on the US. This embargo would cause their oil supplies to diminish. The Japanese Empire was desperate, and it could either choose to not do anything or go to war. They chose war. On December 7, 1941, the Japanese Empire bombed Pearl Harbor, a military base controlled by the US. This surprise attack came from nowhere. This attack killed 2,000 people, wounded 1,000 more, destroyed 200 airplanes, 20 naval vessels, and 8 battleships. Tension was already very high between the Japanese Empire and the United States. This united the people of the United States against a common cause, war against Japan. Propaganda further convinced the people. The US Congress almost unanimously voted to declare war on Japan. The United States had entered World War II. One day after Pearl Harbor, the Japanese Empire attacked another US base. Wake Island held a strategic point. Japanese Emperor Hirohito ordered the invasion of Wake Island on December 8, 1941. Ships fired on the coast of the island, and the planes dropped bombs. Thousands of Japanese infantry landed on the beach. A second attack on December 23, 1941, pushed the Americans off the island. After over 2 weeks, the Japanese controlled Wake Island. On the same day as Wake Island, the Japanese Navy went to its next target, the tropical Philippines. The Japanese attacked the country from many different sides. Landing on the beaches, the Japanese infantry pushed inwards. After months of brutal fighting, the Japanese Empire finally took over the main island of Luzon and eventually the entire country. Despite the fact that the Philippines was supported by the US and many Americans fighting on Filipino land, they were unable to fend off the Japanese. The Japanese Empire won yet another battle and controlled even more land. Also taking place on December 8, 1941, was the invasion of Hong Kong. Hong Kong was a small colony off the coast of China, which was controlled by the British. The Empire of Japan had slowly been taking over China, and its next target was Hong Kong. So British Prime Minister Winston Churchill called the help from his colonies, including Canada. Most of the British Navy had gone out west to help with the war, so Hong Kong was relatively undefended. The Allies were vastly outnumbered, and Japan took Hong Kong in about a week. Over 2,000 Allies were killed. The Japanese Empire took control of Hong Kong and started parading the streets.